The UK has just announced the biggest immigration overhaul in 50 years, and moving forward is going to affect how millions of migrants settle in this country. So if you're living here already, or you're planning to live in the UK, or you're planning your future, you need to listen to this video because it's going to change a whole lot of things in your plan. A new rule was published on the 20th of November 2025, and I'm going to break it down for you in simple terms. So right now, most people can apply for settlement, also known as ILR, after 5 years. Under the new rule, this is an old story. A lot of things has changed. Although there are some persons that can settle earlier in 3 years, some can still settle after 5 years, while others will have a long settlement route. So now, the UK is moving to what they called an end settlement. Before you become a British citizen, before you get your settled status, it has to be end. Now, what does it mean? I'm going to explain all of that later in this video. Let's talk about the waiting times first. The UK government said that different type of migrants will have different waiting period before they can settle. If you are an overstayer or an illegal migrant, you are going to wait till 30 years before you get your settled status. If you are someone who relies on benefits, then you will wait for 20 years before you can settle. If you are a low-paid worker like those on health and care worker visa, you get 15 years before you settle. If you are a regular worker paying your national insurance, you get 10 years to settle. For those that are contributing heavily to the UK, they get rewarded, like those working in public sectors, the doctors, the nurses, the teachers. They get 5 years to settle. Those that are high earners and entrepreneurs get 3 years to settle. If you are on a global talent visa or Innovator visas, you get 3 years to settle. If you are a family of UK citizen, you get 5 years to settle. Also, those from Hong Kong get 5 years to settle. I'm going to read this out from the official website, www.gov.uk website. So now here it says, as this government announced in its immigration white paper, the starting point for settlement will move from 5 years to 10 years. To ensure this is earned, new criteria will be added, which will act as a disqualifying bar for those who do not meet them. Firstly, the applicant must have a clean criminal record. So, if you do not have a clean criminal record, you will not qualify for this ILR. So, it's not just waiting for this time that they have given. So, even if you're waiting for 10 years or 15 years, and at the end of the day, if you have a criminal record, you will still be disqualified. So, your behavior and your conduct will also affect if you get ILR or not. Secondly, they must speak English to A-level standard. So they have also increased the English level requirements from B1 to B2, which is like from conversational English to a professional English. If you don't speak English to A-level standard, you will still not qualify for ILR. Thirdly, they must have made sustained national insurance contributions. So if you're not contributing to NI, maybe you're receiving benefit and you're not contributing, it will still affect your settlement status. And finally, they must have no debts in this country. What kind of debts are they talking about? This is where major controversy lies. Some people are saying you don't have to owe council tax. I know that it is written somewhere here on the gov.uk website that if you're owing NHS, it's going to affect you applying for this settlement. So, but now they have said you must have no debt in this country. It is controversial because most people do not understand what they mean by this. Does it mean that if you're using credit card and you're owing, that you will not apply? Does it mean that if you take a loan from the bank, will it affect you from applying ILR? So the full detail is not known, but I know that if you have any NHS debts, that is going to affect it. So I'm going to research more on this to know what they actually means. And also, if you know, you can put it down in the comments so that all of us will, be informed. So why this criteria set the bar that everyone must meet? There are a series of other tests that have today been published for consultation. So some of these things is open for consultation. The consultation will end by February 2026 and it will start existing. but some others take effect immediately. To recognize the particular value to society they play, the government proposes the following. So these are proposals. Those who speak English to a degree level standard could qualify for a 9-year path to settlement. Those paying the higher rate of tax could qualify at 5 years, while those on the top rate could qualify after 3 years. The same as those on global talent visas. Those who work in a public service, including doctors, teachers, nurses, would qualify after 5 years, while those who volunteer, subject to this consultation, could qualify between 5 and 7 years. So what does it mean? It means that there are some actions, there are some things that you can actually do to fast forward your waiting times. If you begin to volunteer now, if you start volunteering, it could help you to fast forward, because it's written here, those who volunteer subject to this consultation could qualify at between 5 and 7 years. And also, if you start speaking English to A-level standard, it could also reduce your waiting time. If you begin to pay higher tax rates, it will reduce your waiting time. Also, if you change your job and start working in a public sector, because they say those that work in public service, those that work in NHS, like the doctors, the nurses, and the teachers, they get 5 years. So there is hope. You can decide to switch to these services so that you get your ILR waiting time reduced. Also, it says to encourage the use of legal routes into this country, those who arrive illegally could see settlements take up to 30 years. So this is to discourage people from coming to the UK illegally. As has already been set out, refugees on core protection will qualify for settlement after 20 years. Although those who move to a work and study visa could earn settlements earlier, and those arriving by a safe and legal route would earn settlements at 10 years. This consultation is open on some cohorts of special interest. This includes settlement rights for children, members of the armed forces, and victims of certain crimes. So some certain things are not clear yet, because I know that people are asking questions. What happens to dependents? What is their fate? The dependents and children of the applicant, what happens to them? So it is not very clear at the moment. It is open to consultation, meaning that the government will come back and give us full feedback on these certain categories of people. As for benefit and public fund, going forward, who is allowed to receive benefit and public funds? So according to this new rule, even if you get a settled status, you will not automatically receive public funds. Before now or right now, once you get a settled status, you can access public funds. If you have kids, you can apply for child benefit for them. But in this new rule, it says if you have a settled status, you will not automatically get public funds. It is only when you get British citizenship. So you have to wait until 12 months later when you apply for British citizenship. That is when you'll be entitled for public funds and benefits. Also, the Home Secretary, Shabana Mahmood, went ahead to say that gaining settlement, becoming a British citizen, is not a right, that is just a privilege. So also going forward, it says we won't change the rules for those with settled status. So this is leading us to who is not affected. Who is not affected. So it won't change the rules for those with settled status. But if you are in the UK and you have not gotten this settled status, now this might apply to you. For those already in the UK with settled status, they are not affected. So it says here, Madam Deputy Speaker, as this consultation shows, we also listen to British public, and I encourage all those interested to make their voices heard. So guys, this consultation is going on now, and like I said earlier, it's going to end February 2026. So people are being encouraged to make their voices heard. If there is any petition that is going on, anything that you don't like, feel free to join the petition, because by February 2026 they are going to conclude all these things and it will begin to apply to everyone. There is also a clause here that says Not subject to consultation, the partners of British citizen will continue to qualify at 5 years as today. So it means that if you are a partner of someone that is already a British citizen, you get to qualify at 5 years. So guys, as we all have seen, this is the recent rule. If you go to www.gov.uk website, you will find all of this there. Remember that www.gov.uk website is the official website for all UK information, and this is where I have taken out what I have said to you today. What I have said here does not intend to replace any legal advice. This is just purely based on my research. So do well to always visit this website regularly. If you have any question, drop it for me in the comments. If I have answer to that, I'm going to answer you. If you also have anything to put, any more suggestion to put to provide clarity to people, please do that in the comment section as well. If you're yet to like this video, please give me a thumbs up so that this video will get more visibility. Also comment, share. If you're yet to subscribe, please subscribe. I talk about UK immigration, navigating life abroad, and I share my personal stories here. So subscribe, turn on your notification bell so that you get to see all my videos. Thank you so much for watching. If you're a returning subscriber, I love you so much. I will see you guys in my next video. For now, you take care. Bye-bye.